Hi, my name is April Foster, and this is All Things Made New, Lesson 5. All right, so we'll start this lesson the same as always with a prayer, and then we'll go into Bible facts and memory work. And by this time, for levels 1 and 2, the students should have Genesis through about Joshua memorized in terms of what is the book of Genesis about, what is the book, and we're usually using the first 5 to 10 minutes of every class period reviewing those, playing memory games with them. For levels 3 and 4, they should be a little bit further along by now. Then for memory work, we'll move straight into the lesson. And this lesson is all about Lot and Abraham and Sarah and the decisions they made there. And then from there, we'll go into the activities. All right, so again this week, we do not have very many visuals. So we have our characters, which are here. And then we have our city of Sodom. And then we have wicked men, and then there'll be another visual, the fire and brimstone that comes a little later in the lesson. All right, so we start with Lot's choice, and how that came about that their herdsmen were arguing, and Lot chooses to live the good place. He chooses to live in the land or in the city of Sodom. And Abram took his animals and moved back to the land of Canaan. All right, now the 3 promises are again repeated this lesson. So you want to review those again: land, nation, and seed. And by that, you might break those down to land. He would give them a beautiful land. The nation would be a big family, as many as the stars in the sky. And then through his seed or through his family, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. And that is obviously through Jesus. Okay, so we'll repeat that. And at this point, Abram's name was changed to Abraham and Sarah's name was changed to Sarah. Then we'll go into the Sodom and Gomorrah portion of the lesson. And at first, Lot chooses to live near Sodom. And then there's several scripture references there. And the narrative, which is included in every lesson, you can get it at the link below, it goes into some good detail on that with the Bible verses broken out for levels 3 and 4. I'll let you decide how much to get into that on levels 1 and 2. Now, as far as the activities, we have very similar activities to last week. The timeline activity again for the littles, where they're just going to cut these apart and glue them in order on a piece of paper. And then the same thing for the bigs, but with words. And by now they should be able to do this with very little assistance. We also have the 3 promises worksheet. So there's this one. We'll see if they can memorize or remember them and either write them out or draw them into the big 3. There's another worksheet for the littles, which may be a little easier for them to handle. And then for the bigs, we also have this worksheet, and it can be cut apart or used in whole, and they can either work on this at the beginning of class, end of class, till you run out of time, or you can do it with assistance. All right, the other activity that's fun this week is a puzzle. And so we have our puzzle pieces. I'll turn them upside down on the table, let them draw one, read the puzzle piece if they're level 1 or 2, let them read it if they're level 3 or 4, answer the question, and assemble the puzzle. And that is it for lesson 5.